So I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. And this is the first time in 10 years that any group or any person has ever reached out to say, what do you do? What is the
Yay for citizens.
So, and I have for years encouraged, when residents come to the window at the town clerk's office or call, I'll say, just come visit us or just stop in. We'd love to show you what we do. Or instead of paying through the mail, we say, we'd love to see people's faces at the window. So we try to encourage people to come in person, even though people's lives are so busy and it's hard to not just put a payment or a letter in the drop box. In front of the town hall, there is a drop box. If you're ever unable to come in, you can always utilize that drop box. Just a little bit about myself. I grew up in Midtown Kingston. I was born and raised here in the Hudson Valley. In 1999, I moved to the town of Ulster, where I raised my 3 daughters. I have a 27, 25, and a 22-year-old. My oldest daughter works for the New York State Legislative Draft Billing Commission. She's an editor for the bills that come out. My middle daughter lives in Texas and she works in finance, and my youngest is an artist. So 3 different minds we have that going on there. What else? I have a degree, a master's degree in education. I started out as an elementary school teacher. And things happened in my life where now I ended up working at the town of Ulster. Judge Susie Kessick hired me as a court clerk over there. And I've been working for the town of Ulster ever since. In 2014, I left here to work also in the town of Kingston Justice Court. And that was around the same time where, I don't know if you remember, town clerk Jason Cosenza was here. And he was thinking about resigning and moving on. He works at the sheriff's department. So around 2015, the town board, Jason resigned. The town board appointed a temporary town clerk. And then it was around that same time where I was hearing, I don't want to say bad things about anyone, but just that they weren't happy, that maybe she was too abrupt. There was an incident, which I know of because I worked for Judge Weiss here. And there was a same-sex couple that went to get a marriage license and had a hard time obtaining a marriage license. So I said, you know what, maybe I should run. So I was always, not someone to be in the public eye, or I was kind of shy growing up, and I just thought, why not do it? I did not have the support of my party. Not that they were against me, but they were supporting the incumbent, which is understandable. So I knocked on over 1,000 doors myself.
Wow.
I was not anyone's candidate, although that's been out there. I was the candidate, someone's choice for a candidate. I ran myself and I knocked on doors myself. And, there were some people that did support me, obviously, because I was successful, but I feel like I wasn't belonging to any certain group at the time. I just said, I feel like that's something that I accomplished on my own. So
Good for you.
thank you.
And that says you really wanted the job.
I really
too.
did. I really did want it. I remember the first door that I knocked on. It was on Oakwood Drive, the street next to Enzo's. And then years later, that I had a deputy, Lauren, you remember Lauren, who ended up buying that house, and they gave me the door. Because now I'm trying to refurbish it and do something with it. So maybe you'll see it in the town clerk's office. But it was the first door that I knocked on, and I said, if you're ever going to get rid of the door, I want it. And so they delivered it to my house.
Wow.
You make it into a coffee center.
I would, Googling, and if you know anyone who's good with woodworking, please call me.
We need a Town of Ulster museum, and that should go in there.
Yes. I did give you all a handout of things we do on a regular basis. Obviously, there's things in between, reading between the lines of things that come up, that we answered calls and complaints or praises about every department, everything. We get calls from, I don't know if anyone knows John Sullivan. Do you remember John Sullivan? He passed away recently.
Or what?
Yes. It was busy one day and the phone, we have caller ID now. The phone was ringing and I saw it said John Sullivan. I was helping someone at the counter and I couldn't get to it. And he called again and again. And I thought something must be wrong. So I excused myself from the counter and went to answer the phone. And he wanted to know what the number was to Slice of Italy.
And you gave it to him, didn't
So
you?
I was like, Mr. Sullivan, I thought something was wrong. And so I, gave him the number to Slice of Italy. So.
You probably Googled it on your phone and I gave it to him,
I
right?
had to look at it, yeah.
Oh, no.
But things like that, we get calls from those types of things to serious matters, to questions about town board meetings, emails. Roseanne Yetzer and I talk a bunch of times about different things. So anytime anyone has a question about anything, I have a policy where if I don't know the answer, you will not wait more than a day and a half for the answer. Nothing sits on my desk, no call or email gets unanswered for that long of a period of time. That's why it's so important for all the town departments to get along so well. If I don't know the answer, I reach out to a department or transfer you to that department. I don't like to try to answer a call or a question about another department. Want to not step on their toes, of course, if it's, something that Frank Petremol can answer, I'll direct anyone to whatever department is necessary. Yes, I also attached a contact list for each department. This is on our website, and if you do visit our website, it should be able to answer any question you have. Also, if you can't find it, if some people don't look at the website immediately, we're just a phone call away. You can always call us. It's just myself and my deputy Melanie in the office. It's just two of us. Occasionally we have a part-timer. Right now we're in the middle of tax collection, which is very daunting. But that's what we're here for. That's what we signed up for. Today we received 250 payments at the window and in the mail. So we're nearing the January 31st deadline for a no penalty period, but we do collect until May 31st. I believe that my office serves everyone. I don't care what letter comes after your name, what political party you belong to. We're here to serve everyone. We're at the window to, people think maybe the supervisor is my boss. We say the 12,000 residents of the town are our bosses. There's no one we reject, of course. There's no one we turn away. There's no one that's treated differently because of any reason. The town clerk's office is an open office that, we're here for anyone, for any reason. What else? If you have any questions, please ask.
Susie, how's this cyber attacks? How did that affect your job?
So it affected a lot of offices where there was actually employees that were breaking down crying every day because they felt they were very proud of the work that they did and materials were lost. And that's understandable, but we lost 2 years worth of records. So we have this digital filing cabinet in our office. It's called Laserfish. All the documents that you hear about in town board meetings, contracts, sewer, water agreements, everything you can think of goes into this digital filing cabinet. And we scan into the system every day. That's what the town clerk's office is, the records management office for the town. So for 2 years worth of materials were gone.
Oh.
So we're now trying to pull documents that we may have emailed to someone or that someone emailed and trying to get those documents back through sent emails and trying to replenish what we lost. The way I figure is I can't lose sleep over it. We can't get those things back. We can try our hardest. We did lose a year and a half worth of data from our town clerk software. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh, taxes, our tax system, we lost 2023 and 2024 tax bills and receipts that were in our computer system. So we're now getting calls from people who are doing their tax returns for 2024 who want proof of payment from last year, and we can't provide that to them, so. We're moving on within our office, but I just feel bad for the residents who now have to look elsewhere for that information.
And did you say that that information is available at the county?
Yes, so we're directing people to the Ulster County Department of Finance. Luckily, we were not in the middle of tax collection. We ended in June 1st and the cyber attack happened on September 11th.
Mm.
I think if we were in the middle of tax collection, it would have been detrimental.
You wouldn't have known who paid or,
Right,
Who
we
was
had
left?
no record of payment. We do have paper copies of everything, but it's two banker boxes worth of, but we could access it, but it's just very
So
hard.
records do exist,
They do.
okay.
And at the end of our tax collection period every year in June, we hand everything digitally and paper copy over to the county. So they have that, and we lost the digital version. Yeah,
And what was the reason that they wanted a ransom? What?
originally we were told it was ransomware. I didn't get too much information from the supervisor, but a ransom was never asked for. There was contact initially made by another country. I believe it was Poland, I heard. And
Yeah.
attempt was made to contact those hackers, and it was dead emails. Dead contact information.
No.
Um,
Wow.
So I haven't received much information about exactly what transpired.
Mm.
And now Susan, do you back up the backups or?
Well, now we have a records management policy that was changed to say that the backups are supposed to go to the highway department, from the town hall to the highway department and to an outside source. Now, my programs are now cloud-based. But the backups are now ensured to be done daily. Yeah.
that's
You don't
crazy.
think of it until it happens.
Yeah.
Right. The water department, I don't know if you're all affected by water bills. They were hit pretty hard and it affected the data of water bills. And I'm hoping that by next quarter, we don't produce the bills or create the bills, but we collect the fees, and we just hear that the bills seem a little high this period. I don't know if you were affected by that. I'm hoping by next quarter, it'll all be straightened out.
You have listed on here FOIL officer. Can you explain a bit about that part of what you do? What is a FOIL and?
Yes. FOIL stands for Freedom of Information Law, and we are overseen by the Committee on Open Government, which means anyone can request a copy of a document. We're entitled to any document, most documents are public information unless it interferes with an employee's personal information. So say you want a copy of a contract, so you want a copy of a building permit. You want to find out if your neighbor who's doing renovations has a building permit. You can FOIL it. Any document that you want, you can send a copy of a request to the FOIL officer, which is me, or my office. I am then required to look at that document to say, well, what department does it pertain to? I can either provide it, like I said, we have our digital filing cabinet, and as long as that is organized and kept up to date, I should be able to easily find what document you're looking for in that digital file and send it to you. If I can't, I send that request to the department that it belongs to. So a lot of times we get FOILs for property cards, which is in the assessor's office, building department information, water and sewer contracts. So I will then send the request to the department it belongs to, and then that department is responsible for providing the document to you or the information you need. They can either provide it to you in a paper format, an email, or you can physically go to the department and look through the documents yourself in person. It's just being transparent and not denying the public access to town documents that they are certainly entitled to.
They are our documents, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, there's a time limit. Once I receive a FOIL request, I have 5 days to reply to say I received it. And we have 20 days from that point to provide that information to you, or to tell you that we don't have the information, or we need more time to provide it to you. And it should be a reasonable amount of time beyond that. You're not gonna wait, 6 months for something, because it's, the onus is on the town employee to provide that to you and not drag their feet.
I know that with FOIL, if I've done a lot of FOIling, say with EEC, unless you ask the right thing in the right way.
Yes,
They'll just say, your question is unclear.
yes, vague, it's too vague, be more specific.
Yeah, so the more
Yeah.
specific, the better, but
Yes.
I know you're helpful and
Yeah,
with the specificity.
yes.
Mhm.
So the police department has its own set of FOIL, a policy. We get a lot of FOIL requests for accident reports or dashboard camera video, and then it's very easy. I say, oh, this is a police FOIL. It doesn't, I can't handle it, then we kick it off to the police department.
What's the reason that you should license your dog?
Oh, so I put this on, all these things on here, this is what we actually do, but there's a lot of people, I won't name names, no one in this room, who say, oh, they're just flipping through magazines in there and issuing dog licenses. So I feel like the video that you made with the dog license was great, like a little inside joke.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's
And
my
Sadie
dog.
was great.
Yeah.
Dog licenses
And
are,
Sadie's had 2 dog licenses in 1 year, so that's why I'm asking this question.
so every dog, it's a New York State law that every dog 4 months or older has to have their rabies shot and be licensed by your town or city clerk. And it's good for control of spayed or neutered animals. Like, you don't have to have your dog spayed or neutered to have it licensed. The fees are different. But it's just, if your dog is licensed, let's say Sadie has a tag around her. When a dog is licensed in our office, we issue a tag that goes on her collar. If the dog runs away, which happens often, on a weekly basis, we get a report of a lost dog. If there's a tag on the collar that says Town of Ulster with a 4-digit number on it, whoever catches the dog can call the town and say, we have dog number 1234. And we know, okay, 1234, Sadie belongs to Laura Hartman, we call you, you come get your dog. A lot of times these dogs are sitting in the cages in the police department with unknown owners. They go to our animal control, his headquarters, where he boards his dogs. Adam Saunders is our animal control guy in Saugerties, and the dogs sit there. And then the owners, we have to be found and then go pay a fee to retrieve their animal. But it just controls, the dogs that are lost, controls spaying and neutering, that sort of thing. And it's $6 a year if your dog is spayed or neutered. So I feel like that's such a minimal amount to pay to not have to go through the trouble.
Good way to support your town.
Yes.
You should do it for cats too, you'll really make money.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, so we send reminder notices out at the end of each month. That's another thing. We lost all the licensed dogs in the last 2 years, so we're slowly building that system back up. We send a notice out to remind you to license your, when it's a yearly fee.
I'm gonna keep asking questions if y'all don't mind. Is there a fee if somebody comes to you if they need a notary?
No fee, no.
Wow.
Tips on him.
Yeah.
Cookies are a good
Yeah,
gift, right?
We can accept it. So I go to classes, I go to different classes for different things, I learn about other departments so I can understand what they do. I'm sort of a nerd by, I've all my life, I like to learn about what the other departments are doing. I'll go to classes that pertain to the planning board or the highway department. And it's not because I want to take, step on Frank Petromall's toes. I just want to know how we can work better together. So I went to a notary class, like that has to do with my department, but we were always told not to notarize wills because they were legal documents or some other sort of document, mostly legal documents, but we are not allowed to reject anyone for any reason for a notary, as long as they present the proper identification and what they're supposed to. We could get sued if we turn them away. So I could, not the town, but so anytime you need a notary. Melanie, my deputy, and I are both notaries. There's 2 notaries in the court office, so there's always someone around. I don't know if anyone looks at our social media. We have a Facebook, an Instagram, in addition to the town website. A lot of information is on our website. We also share on Facebook. I know a lot of people, especially seniors, are on Facebook, but it's where we share a lot of information.
Who runs those?
I do,
You do all that?
yeah.
Ah,
We have an Instagram too, which is like a little bit more fun than the serious Facebook. So we like to share different things on Instagram. Vicky?
well, I like it because, not that I'm on the social media, but I don't know if everybody knows this, but you can actually sign up to get stuff from the.
Oh, the emails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so like, when the agenda comes for the town board, I get that before I can go,
Yeah.
like with the town board meeting, you can go on the website and actually sign up to get those things, which is pretty cool, it's really.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, that's right. There's a link on our website for that.
That's the town newsletter.
Yes, yes. That's
Town
what's-
newsletter, but then also you get I get the planning board, agenda, I get the town board agenda, so it's really nice. Be able to look
I
at
know
that.
I'm on the website a lot, and I find it to be very intuitive. And you're a good webmaster from that,
Thank
in that regard. And so even if I, on my search engine, if I hit, instead of that, you know, many type of Town of Ulster, if I hit T-O, Town of Ulster.
Yeah.
That's if I use it so well.
Those are ours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's so if I'm looking to get, a budget from, or looking at an audit for from a certain year. I mean, it's really easy, and then even general information, so for example, I'll hit, if I wanna get on parcel viewer,
Oh,
I don't go to the county, I go to T-O.
okay.
And I get down at the bottom, your frequently used or whatever it's called, so those they're just very helpful, you hit on parcel viewer and whole year.
Yeah.
Good to
Yeah.
go.
The only thing that I've had a problem getting is the planning board minutes.
So I'm not, so I do the town board minutes, and as soon as they are approved, I put them on. I have nothing to do with the planning board,
Yeah.
and I am only given the minutes when they're given to me.
Okay,
For a few years, I've been emailing, asking for them, and I said, I'm just gonna wait till they're sent to me, but most of the time, it's when a resident will call and say, where are they? I will reach out to Megan and say, we have, 3 people asking for them now, so
yeah, okay, so.
planning and zoning, I have to wait until they're sent to me.
Okay, so I was looking for a planning board meeting minute, and I find, maybe the next time I'll call you and say, hey, Susie, can you?
Yeah. Give me a nudge so I can nudge someone else.
Okay.
We should maybe just start doing that so that they get the idea they should be putting them up more frequently.
Yeah, Megan's number's in the departments,
Yeah.
she's in there.
Oh, she's the secretary for the planning board?
Yes.
Yeah.
At least they're still a few months behind, so it'd be great to get caught up if we can get them.
And like that, like anytime you see something is an older version or some item is missing or out of place, please let me know, because it takes someone to alert me to something missing or something on the website for me to fix it. And we had a great designer of the website, and he's at our beck and call all the time. His name is Mike Rice. We switched websites. You remember that when you couldn't get the newsletters, right, or something? Like in 2021, so that was great. He's a town resident. Mike is great at helping us with our website too. So if I can't do it, I'll reach out to Mike. Yes.
So Susie, I'm just looking over your list here and the topic is recreation and activities. And I remember being at the meetings and often there's a lot of things that you plan for seniors, for kids, and you work with Councilman Secreto. So maybe you could say a little more about, you know, how you publicize all of these and, you know, how they get going and whose ideas they are.
Okay, so when I first started, not all there was an Easter egg hunt and, the Christmas tree lighting. So I guess with my like teaching background, my brain is always going, like, what can I do? You know, all the time. We started the trunk or treat, and it was just us talking to Rocco Secreto and saying, what do you think about this? What do you think about doing back to school supplies for kids? What do you think about, we wanted to do a yard sale in the town hall parking lot. But we had a great recreation committee. We had, it was me, Lauren, and Rita, who you guys never meet Rita, but Rita has a lot of great ideas, which we just talk about when we have meetings. We have meetings quarterly, probably. So it was just a flow of conversation to come up with ideas. We have a senior bus trip every year. The senior picnic, which is really the town clerk's office used to do all by itself, but I don't know if you've ever been to a senior picnic. It's impossible for like 2 or 3 people to run around crazy. So I said, how about the recreation committee help with that? Just to get more hands on board. And now, you know, we added more people to the recreation committee this year. We needed that. We needed those people. So we added a trunk or treat and the senior events.
Tree lighting.
The tree lighting. And we wanted to do a senior, we're talking about doing a senior prom now for seniors.
That's cute.
You know, like we think, so a lot of times we feel like our calls with people, maybe we're the only people they talk to throughout the day. And sometimes we can like find a long conversation. We try to get off the phone, but we have to think we might be the only people that they're reaching out to. So we have to sympathize with them. And the more events that we see people going to, they're excited and they want to do things. And these senior bus trips, they get dancing and they get crazy. So we went to a 70s, like
Sort of a disco.
a disco show, yeah, and it was so much fun. And we just get talking with them. What did they want to do? What would they be interested in? So we're reaching out to people to see what did they want to see happen. So
You do an Easter egg hunt this year?
yes, Dawn's going to be involved in that. You're going to be involved in the Easter egg hunt.
You're not putting me in the bunnies.
Oh, I want to see that. We've been working on trying to increase attendance at town board meetings, and we've been doing very, very well. I'm especially proud of the last town board meeting where we had a full house. Citizen engagement has been up across the board. What are options for people to attend board meetings if they can't make it in person? There's nothing, especially these days, there's nothing like being there in person. Feeling all the energy in the room and seeing it firsthand. But there are other ways that it is available to folks.
Yeah, so we offer the meetings. We have a Zoom link that you can always reach out to me for the Zoom link and participate that way. There's Facebook Live, so if you're on Facebook, you can watch it live. If you miss the meeting and you want to watch it the next day, it's on Facebook. And I also put our Facebook recordings on YouTube, which on our website, there's a YouTube link. So you can always watch it that way.
Those are archived, right?
Yes.
Can you do a little explanation of the town, John, about what you need to do, you know, who needs a pass, what you need a pass for? Are you talking about the transfer station? The one up behind.
Yeah,
yeah.
So the
that's
transfer
always been the
station.
dump to me.
People still call it the dump, that's fine. So behind ShopRite is our town transfer station. It's open Tuesdays and Saturdays. The guys work 7 to 3. They're highway guys that rotate through the schedule. So they're there at 7:15 and they leave at 2:45. You need a permit to even get through the gate to get,
Mhm.
that's what, so I don't know what they tell people when they're up there. You need a permit to be able to go to the transfer station. We sell them in our office and the guys sell them up there at the transfer station, but they only accept checks at the transfer station. We accept cash, check, credit card. And then to dispose of trash, we sell punch cards or, yeah, there's another way to do it too. So you bring a giant 30-some gallon bag of trash, not the little 13-gallon ones, as we say, try to get the most for your money. That's one punch on the card, which is $4.50 now. Or some people, instead of prepaying for a punch card, they pay, so we get checks from the transfer station, they deliver to us weekly all the payments that they receive. Some people just write checks out for $4.50 or $9 or $13.50, whatever the denomination is. So you need a permit to get into the transfer station. And then to dispose of trash, you have to pay extra. Recycling is free and brush is free. I don't know what happens up there because we hear different stories, but.
So if I'm only getting rid of the yard waste, I don't have to buy a permit.
From what Frank informs us, you need a permit to be able to just go there. If you want, whatever you do beyond that, you either pay for trash or you're disposing of yard waste for free.
Okay. Well, we need to clarify that because we're getting mixed signals. I was told that ever since COVID, if I have yard waste, which is branches down, leaves,
Yeah.
dug up your garden, you want to get rid of all that dead animals and trees,
Whatever you have.
I don't need to get a pass.
Okay, you can tell me like who, now or later, whoever is, giving you that information, but
Frank?
this is coming directly from Frank to us.
Mr. Hill, I don't know the other gentleman's name,
Yeah.
one of the younger guys, they all told me the same thing.
Yeah, there was a cutoff point after COVID because there was a cutoff point when COVID was over. And then coming up, Frank did mention there's going to be a free disposal period for something. I don't know, I can't remember, but there'll be an open period where people can just go and dispose of certain things, but I have to find out and I'll post about that, but I can't remember what it is.
Say Frank's the time, if that's what the case is, that you don't have to buy a pass for your yard waste. That so Frank comes through and picks up all your leaves,
Yeah,
and then the next day somebody puts a bag out. They could take it to the dump Saturday morning and just throw it in the heat,
yeah,
if it's in a bag,
Yeah.
and have done with it. Or if you've got one limb that could fit in your car, why wait and leave it there for fine, if it snows or something happens? If it's free, you.
yeah, I'll talk to Frank and just
Save
see,
him, make it extra.
because I definitely don't want to spread, giving misinformation to people, so I'll write that down.
Thanks.
Talk to Frank.
All right, we are at time,
I'm sorry,
actually.
I know you
It's
are, but
okay.
I just want to say that I don't know what goes on behind me at the town board meeting, so like seeing last time, it was like standing room only, it was great, seeing people standing and being there.
Yeah,
And I barely can see the faces of the town board members, which I probably should look at and see. It's very entertaining,
I can
But,
give you some good descriptions.
just if I don't say hello or something, I don't even know what's going on behind me, so just tap me and say hello. I'm not that busy that I can't reach out and say hello to anyone.
And to remind everybody that now there is the pre-meeting, which used to happen in the dark, has now come into the daylight, and it happens for us to see and to hear. You can, as they go through the agenda and all the items, which could give you some questions on, because the first you can comment on anything on the agenda. So if you hear what they're talking about and what they're preparing, that happens at 6:30. And then the town board meeting is at 7. And it's like become our social time, there's so many people that come out and we all get to know each other. It's I love seeing a lot of people there. I'm preaching to a lot of the choir here because there's so many of you that have been attending regularly, but it's, I think, really important to do and to know what's going on in our town, and more and more people are speaking up, and that's our job as citizens. to let our town board know how we're feeling about, the work that they're doing. We do, I know we have a reputation perhaps for asking for things or saying what we don't like, but we also do get up and say what we think is going well. And that's just as important too. So.
Thank you again.
Thank you.